Welcome to the Purpose Driven Mom Show, episode 484. I have a behind the scenes for you. About a month and a half ago, since when this is going to air, we did our holiday planning workshop. It was so fun, and we had a VIP session after each training. VIPs could bring their own questions, their own concerns, things that they wanted individual coaching on. And this was a really fun one for me. I personally love breaking goals down in the way that I do in this session. I'm going to tell you off the bat, though, you're going to probably want to watch this one on YouTube. You can listen, I'll talk you through it, but getting to see it is awesome. And if you go to a purposedrivenmom.com/podcast 484, I'm going to put the doc that I shared there so you can hit make a copy and have your own. This question was from one of my work at home mom members of the Purpose Driven Mom Club, where she was curious, like, how do I get ahead? I want to batch ahead. I don't want to have to be stressed about the holidays. I can't even, I'm struggling to get one episode done. I need a plan to do a sprint or to break it down. What do you recommend? And I actually planned out her whole year. I just kind of like went. I was having so much fun with. Right. I love that kind of stuff. I'm like, I was having so much fun with it, but I do enjoy that. So I broke it down the goal. I helped her get ahead. She's going to follow, hopefully, the plan that I made for a mini sprint slash batching time to get ahead on her podcast so she can take off weeks during the holiday season. So if you're looking to finally learn how to get ahead, to start to batch, to get things done, and also so you can take a break in your business, go to purposedrivenmom.com/podcast 484. But again, listen to it, but I do recommend the YouTube channel. So click that link over in the show notes and enjoy. All right, hey everybody. Welcome to VIP. All right, friends. So excited to get to hang out for a little bit more time today. We'll play around on Trello. We had some questions pre-submitted, so we'll get to those and then I'll do any live coaching. If you were able to get on the first call today, let me know in the chat. If you're just hopping on for VIP and you haven't got to watch it, let me know as well. I hope you guys had a great day. It's good to see everybody. We'll give out a prize at the end too. And we'll get to some questions and everything. I had to get like a coffee in between. I'm dragging today. I am dragging. All right, friends. So we're already recording, so I'm going to jump into some questions for you. And then if you want any coaching and you didn't get a chance to submit a question, just use the raise hand feature at any point. And then when I'm done with the pre-submitted questions, I'll just kind of go in that order. All right. So make sure you're just plopping that raise hand up as you need it. So I was looking at the questions. We had some Trello ones, and I have a sad one that I unfortunately cannot answer. So I'm hoping I can crowdsource. All right. So the question that many of us have is the big problem with Trello. Why on earth do we have to scroll? So I don't, this is my least favorite thing about Trello. They just mess with us, don't they? That we have to scroll this way, right? Like I don't want to keep scrolling. It's annoying. I also don't like it. So there used to be a really great Chrome extension, list layouts for Trello, that got removed. I don't know why. So I've been doing some Googling, I've been doing some research, and there were two that were recommended, but I can't get them to work on my computer. So like I don't know. I have them here. So one of them is where to go? Trello groups. Let's pin this real quick and see if maybe we can use it. So I got this one, Trello groups. I just downloaded it. Let me move my picture. Yeah, I just downloaded it now and I'm gonna test it. I was gonna test it out for you. So this is the one that is supposed to, all right, hold on. I guess because I put a new extension on here. Oh, allow functional cookies. That's fine. Um, so it's supposed to group things in a similar way. Now, if anyone has found anything that can help them with our Chrome extension problem, please let us know because I've been searching. So this one I've got here, Trello groups, and I'm going to press it a couple times. And that's technically how Chrome extensions are like supposed to work. Like you press them and things happen, but nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. So this one's a dud. The other one that I had saw when I did research was this one, grid layouts for Trello, and I couldn't get it on my computer as well. It's not, it's like by this user styles company and not an actual, oh wait, let's try this one, Chrome extension. So I will tell you, I feel the same. Maybe I like this one. Oh, I don't like what that looks like, but maybe there's a way to customize it. I agree. I liked list layouts for Trello. It was my very favorite, but maybe we can, like maybe we can make some magic happen. So I figured we can play with it maybe and see. So I'm gonna head back over to let's head back to my Trello board. Yeah, it is my least favorite thing. I cannot stand it. Yeah, I think Trello like is not letting. All right, let's see this one. All right, settings for the board. Default Trello, no. Horizontalist, no. Vertical, no. Grid. Let's try grid. I'm not going to change the color. Let's see what grid does. Set as default. And nothing. Come on, please. Let's refresh. Yeah, I think Trello has just decided that it wants us to be on an endless scroll. I don't know why. I don't know. And if I could fix it, then I would fix it. But let me see. But if anyone has found one, yeah, I have it as grid. Name of the podcast checklist. Grid set as default. Let me head back over real quick. Uh, Install. Let's see if there's anything else. Go to Trello. The Trello's icon. Click it. Liars. All right, so I think I think this is another bust for us. Um, let's see what pastel. Maybe that'll do something. No. Yeah, I think Trello said, no, thank you. You must scroll for the rest of your life until you can no longer scroll anymore. So well, that's a good idea. Let's get rid of the tab. Let's head over here. Let's open it up again. I don't know. I feel like that is that. But yeah, Erin makes a good point. She says she moves things over so that it's easier to find. You can certainly do that so that the lists that you want are at the top, right? So if I was to go into this board, for example, and I wanted, hold on, it's taking a second to load, to make sure that like September was at front, you can kind of just like move everything that way so that it's easier. That's a good solution, Erin. I like that one. Um, at the end of the week board, move the list to the last on the board. Yeah, exactly. So moving those lists is really like the workaround for that. I'm sorry. I wish I could wave my Trello fairy wand and fix it, but alas, cannot. So if anyone has any other solutions, I like the ones in the chat, drop those over as well. All right, let me go over. There were two other questions. And again, if at any point you have a question, you want to talk through something, you want help. And listen, if you're co-working, if you're like, I don't have a question, but I loved the feel of co-working, one, join the club. Two, I need you to drop in the chat what you're doing. The thing that makes co-working work is that you're accountable. So I want you to, one, work on something holiday planning related. It's easy to want to do something else right now, but no, use the time to work on your holiday planning. And two, tell me what you're doing so the next time I check in, you can tell me your progress. That's like a really missing piece when you're co-working on your own. So that accountability, okay? All right. So let me pull over my next question. All right. All right. I was looking at this one earlier. All right, you're not able to talk, no worries. And I realized that the reason I didn't know it was Ellen's question yesterday is because there is no name. I didn't put a name on the form, guys. So if this is your question and you want to chat with me in the chat or unmute, if it's your question at any point, unmute. I was like, wait, why is it not there? I'm like, well, because I didn't put a name feature. All right, I won't be able to talk, but I have a question. I'm having a baby around Halloween. I need extra rest. So I would like to learn how to use like the May-Sember course. If anyone wasn't here, we did a May-Sember mini challenge. And I would like to apply the weekly checklist to some of the holiday stuff to get prioritized. So without being able to know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to feel, how do I plan it out? I feel like I'm missing some steps to get my things in or maybe delegating. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again like we did yesterday. I'm going to pull up like a little workbooky notebook. And we're going to kind of think through some of these things when it comes to pre-planning those holiday things. So I'm going to share and we'll head on in. All right, so you're going to notice that what I'm going to do now is going to be very similar to what we did yesterday, but we're just applying it with a different goal. It's the framework, right? Yes, the May Summer Challenge, right? Wasn't that a good one? So May Summer was a challenge we did because May often feels like December for us with the busyness, and it's planning stuff out early. We did it in April, I think. I'm trying to remember. If you don't have that mini course, the recordings are in the Member Vault portal. I think under shop, you can find them. I'm pretty sure I put them there for you to buy. But here's the thing. So when we're planning out a goal, there's a couple things in my framework that I teach in the program that you're going to want to know. Okay, first up is like, what is the goal, right? So this person's goal is like holiday stuff, we'll say mostly. done before baby. Now, she's obviously not going to be able to get all of it done, but she's going to be able to kind of do some of it. Oh, and the other goal in here is that stuff is done before baby and remaining things are done light and with a fluid schedule because you don't know how you're going to feel, right? You're going to wake up. Maybe you don't get to sleep. Maybe today's not the day to do it. So we always start with what the goal is. Then what you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, like, what's the end date so that we can backwards plan? Okay, so in this, we have two end dates. End date one is the hard end date, which is the baby's due on Halloween. So I would say, like, what, October? Look at my calendar. So I'd say maybe the week before you want to be done, right? So, like, by October 20th, I'm putting XYZ tasks. We're going to add those in. XYZ tasks for the holidays are completed. Okay. And then secondary end date is by the end of the year, right? Then these tasks for the holidays are completed. So in this, there's two different due dates she has for herself. One is a little bit of a mini sprint, like what can I get done before the baby comes? And then the other is a secondary goal of making a fluid schedule to get things done. All right. So yesterday I kind of showed how to do that first goal. I showed how to take it and break it down. So I'm going to give you the steps, and obviously I don't know all your steps, so you're going to have to like fill them in for yourself, right? So then your next thing, all right, so we've got goal, right? We can use this framework. We've got end date, okay? Now you're going to need to know the what, okay? These are your tasks. So the next step, this person, and I'll put this in the Member Vault portal for you as well, so you can play around with it, is list all the tasks by 10/20, and then you're going to list all the remaining tasks. Okay. Now, in your question, you also said, like, hey, maybe I have to delegate some stuff. So hopefully you were able to watch the call and you got some ideas of like, all right, these are the things I can delegate. These are the things I can let go so that you can let them go. I'm going to throw some tasks and numbers out here for us to play with. All right. Now, once we have that, then we do our numerical process. I teach a concept of three types of goals. All right. So then we do our numerical process. This is the project-based process. This is the numerical process. That is math. All right. So how many weeks do we have to the 20th? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll say 4 full weeks because that week before the baby, you want to like be done, so in case you go early. Okay. So you have 4 weeks to complete your tasks. And let's say you identify, just for easiness, right? You have 20 tasks to complete. And this gets you ahead for any October holidays and November holidays. So yesterday I talked about batching. I would, if I was this person, I would look at all your October and November things so that you can get the things done as best to your ability. Like you might not be able to shop for your perishable Thanksgiving items, obviously, right? But like you can get more things done in advance so you can enjoy. And I say this with I did the same. We were talking on this on the live. My daughter, her due date was December 19th. She was born on December 23rd. Okay. I had by December 1st all of our Christmas gifts wrapped and under the tree, right? Except for my stepson's things. It was like all the everything else I needed. I had them wrapped. I had them literally because I was like, I'm not gonna want to do it. I'm not gonna want to do it. I don't want to put pressure. Like I had them done. I wasn't playing. I was like nesting like crazy. I was like, it's all done. And if it isn't done, I don't care. So I think that's part of it too, is what do you want to do and what matters the most? Now, say you come up with 20 tasks. And again, you're gonna insert your own numbers here because I'm just making them up for math's sake, and I don't know how many tasks go. Okay. So for goal A, what you're going to do here is you're going to say 20 divided by 4 equals 5 tasks per week. Now, this is when you start to do a breakdown similar to yesterday's. Your week 1 tasks all the way through, right? And then you're going to list all tasks, list the 4 tasks. Now, I would recommend, if this was me, I would also think of like, oh, Freen, great. Okay, so Freen, throw one, congratulations. Two, throw me any context in the chat that I know you said you can't chat. So anything in the chat that that would be helpful to me while I'm doing this. Give me all the deets. So what I would do at this first stage of the task that we're working on is I would batch them together. So I would maybe say, okay, week 1, my 4 tasks that are my planning tasks. And then week 2, I'm going to do my 4 tasks that are my to buy tasks. And then week 3, I'm going to do my 4 tasks that are my home or cleaning tasks, right? Maybe like decorating, cleaning, whatever. And then week 4, whatever other category you have here. Insert final category here, maybe like a food task or buffer. This way you're batching your stuff together because it's just faster. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Tomorrow's all about batching and tasks, but this is how I would do this. Now, okay, now we're like baby time, right? We're going to have baby. So insert weeks of newborn, 4th trimester, trying to figure your life out, okay? You still have tasks to do because if you follow this, we've done only October and November tasks, but what about all of December's tasks? You still want to work on them. So this goes to your secondary goal of how do I create a plan that has a little more fluidity when I don't know how I'm going to feel every single day. Okay, so here's our sprint. And then here's our part 2. You create the plan now. Create the plan before you need the plan. Create the plan before you have the baby so that you don't have to think about the plan. You just have to implement the plan. Okay. So, similar thing, right? What? List all your tasks. All right. So, we're going to drag our tasks over. Copy. All right. So, this is your remaining tasks. Let's move this one down. All right. And we're going to do a similar process, but the way I'm going to have you do it is going to be a little bit different. All right. So then we're going to move into the numerical process again. All right. So maybe you have 40 tasks to do them. Now, because I just feel like December holidays have like more in depth. Now, say you take the week of the 20th and the week of the 27th and the week of like, let's say you take that full month off, right? So say you're like, all right, I'm going to start doing my holiday tasks at the end of November, or maybe even December. Like maybe you take the whole time off. It's up to you, right? So you're like, I'm taking 4 weeks off to like exist, be human, heal, all those things we need to do, and not worry about the holidays because I've already done all of I'm sorry, not Thanksgiving, all of November. I've already done those. So now I'm moving into maybe the week of Thanksgiving, whatever. So now we're in December 1st. Okay. So now I'm like, all right, what are my December tasks? I'm feeling a little bit more crunched. Maybe I have more tasks and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks to complete them. So see how this makes it a little different. So now our process is 10 tasks per week. This is where you then ask yourself, can I delegate or drop? Delegate, drop things. Do I have to keep, right? Do I have to keep all 40 of these? And again, I'm just giving a number on. But if 10 tasks per week feels cool to you, then awesome. You know what you have to do. But here's where it's a little bit different because you don't know how you're going to feel the baby and sleeping and all that kind of stuff. What you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, say I have 10 tasks per week, okay? Let's go back to the numerical. We're going to stick with this. And there's 5 days a week I want to work on those, all right? So then divided by 5 days a week, and I'm not saying 7 because I want to give you some buffer, equals 2 tasks per day. All right, I have 2 holiday tasks that I'd like to complete a day. Well, that's like a little bit more manageable. I feel like I can get that done. But instead of making a plan that looks like this, okay, you're going to make a plan that looks like this. All right, you're going to list out your tasks, the 10 tasks you're going to do, and you're going to list them in order of urgency. Okay, so this is like urgency, list by urgency, list by urgency. Okay. Which means like when is it due? Like when do I need this thing for, right? I know this holiday party is this day, this is this day, Christmas is like I know that we want to work ahead. I know that we want to get everything done, like etc. But what has to get done first? So you're gonna list your tasks out here by urgency, right? Numbers 1 through 10. Okay. Task 1, task 2. Gonna have them all here. Instead of again, they're not batched because we've grouped these together, but they're done by due date. And now, when you're like, I'm going to work on 5 of these, at the start of your week, you're going to plan out which ones you're going to do. Okay, so say we have all 10 tasks here. Maybe at the beginning of the week, you're going to like, all right, I want to work on this one Monday. I want to work on this one. Oh, like maybe this task is like order gifts. And then this task is like buy wrapping paper. I don't know, whatever. But then I'm going to work on this one Tuesday because it happens at the store. Oh, here's another thing I have to order. So I'll put that with Monday, etc. And you're going to make your plan. 2 tasks. And then you're going to wait, and then you're going to decide when during the day you're going to do it. And then you're going to see how you feel. If you get to Monday and the task is that you need to go to the store to buy XYZ thing, and you didn't sleep and the baby's crying, and you're like, I just don't want to do it. 1, delegate, go like pick up, right? Like Grocery pickup is the best. Like, honestly, DoorDash that, like, get that at your house. But if you can, like, if that's a delegate thing, I know that's a privilege to be able to use, but if you can, but if not, be like, all right, well, I'm not in it. I don't feel like doing these Monday tasks. I'm going to pick two other tasks. So I'm going to do the Tuesday tasks instead. You're just swapping them. It's not, oh, I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to do anything. It's what can I replace it with? And then this way, you've got a plan that has flexibility for how you feel. So that was a lot. If you have questions, put them in the chat for me, or if anybody else has questions on like how I did that. But you see how it's different. Each one is a little bit different. It's broken down a little bit different because they're different types of goals, right? Because they're broken down differently based on the end result. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that for you, and for anyone else who wants to make a copy, I'll put that breakdown. I'll just call it breakdown one. I'll put it in member vault. Okay. So you'll have that for you. But this was a great question. And I think sometimes it's helpful. Um, thanks, Shannon. Yeah. And I think, well, because I think sometimes it's like you know how to do it and then you get to see it and you're like, that makes more sense. What I'd like you to do now, if you're co-working, is drop in the chat what you're doing. How did you do? What did you get done while I was teaching that in the past 7 minutes? I don't know how long I was talking. And then if you're moving to a second task, let me know what your task is. If you're not, then keep going on your task. But let's just do a quick check-in. I'm going to head back to my questions. And again, if anyone has any live, let me know. I have two more submitted here. All right. All right, can I share my batching plans for baking that I used some favorites and I'm not sure how to make the time for it? Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't write it down. So do you know what's gonna be great? Let's do it now. Let's go do it now. Let's do it right now, and then I can do it and keep it. Excellent. All right, so hey, let's follow the same process that we always follow, right? So what's the goal? So my goal for holiday baking, let's call this one holiday baking, is that I would like to have holiday baking dough frozen by, I'm looking at my calendar. I say by the 12th. I have a women's group on that day, so I probably will bring cookies to that. So this is good. So I'm looking at my calendar. So on the 12th, I have a women's group, so I'll probably bring cookies. On the 13th, I have a Christmas party. So my first holiday stuff is starting. And then we have a cheer comp the next. So then it's like about to, oh, I have two cheer comps in a row. Geez. All right. So I'm all over the place, right? Oh, also APDM members, you can mark your calendars for December 7th. That's our holiday party this year. I think Courtney put on the calendar, but in case you haven't seen it. All right. So I would like to have my holiday baking, either the dough frozen and then like my first round made the week of December 8th, because that's when I'm going to first need them. Frozen, started making by December 8th. All right. Or like week of. So maybe I want to do it the weekend before. Yep. So look at, see how I'm like really thinking it through. That Saturday we have a cheer comp, Sunday we'll be home. So maybe Sunday I'll do a little bit of baking. And then during the week, I don't really have anything on our calendar. Like right now, we don't have any activities that week. We probably will, but like we don't right now. So I can use the nights to get a little bit of baking done. Okay, beautiful. So I know what I want to do and I know when I want to have it completed. Okay. So that's kind of like my step one. So that's your step one. What is your goal? Okay. Now and when. So we've kind of mapped a goal in here with the when. Okay. Now if I just look at my baseline, I always like to kind of know my timeline and then we'll do a breakdown. So what's today? So I'm going to count by weeks. I don't know when I'm going to start this. And honestly, because I'm going to be freezing stuff that I might need for, like, I'll probably make cookies for Thanksgiving. I'm looking at um, mostly making them for December, but I know I'll need them for Thanksgiving. I might need them for whatever. I'm going to start my timeline the first week in October. I'm probably not going to want to start that yet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Technically, it's 10 weeks if I count. So counting 10, 9, 8. All right, so we'll say 9. All right, so I have 9 weeks. Wow, that feels so fast. Okay, see, now I'm like, oh, let's talk y'all yourself down, Cara. All right. So I have 9 weeks from now until December 8th when I would like to have all of this done. Okay. Totally doable. Yes, exactly. Definitely. And I make all the same stuff. So I'm going to be double dipping on a lot of them. Most of them will get done for Thanksgiving and I don't make as many desserts for Thanksgiving as I do for Christmas because I make like cookie platters and stuff and like to bring them there. And by I said that very confidently. That last year was my first year doing that. Like I literally had never done a baking day before. So I learned a lot, so we're auditing it. I will say I make chocolate chip cookies every week though now. Like I stop buying my kids cookies and I just make the dough and I freeze them. And I have them in like I have them in like a frozen, what is it called? Ziploc bags. Like even now, my kids just ate the last, they call them mommy cookies. Like we just had the last mommy cookie this morning when I packed lunches. So when I pick them up from school, I'll just make some cookies today. Anyway, I already do this, so it's like not as hard. Um, and I don't have an extra freezer, so it does make it a little challenging, I will say, because I don't have extra space. So that's mindful. All right, so I've got my timeline. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask myself, what's the plan? Again, 5-step framework. Now, we're not talking about accountability rewards, all the other steps in the framework, but we're getting there, right? All right. So now I need to break down what this is. All right. So here's what I have to do. We start with the project based and then it turns into the numerical process. And the project based is what are my tasks that I need to complete to do this? It's not just I need to bake stuff, right? There's some more steps in there. Not a ton for this one, but there's more steps, right? So my plan is one, like create create my cookie menu for the holidays, create a shopping list, buy non-perishables in bulk. So I'll buy like I will literally go through my shopping list and be like, oh, I'm making my chocolate chip cookies, for example, use 1 cup of sugar. It makes about 4 dozen cookies in the recipe, right? That's one of the ingredients. My kid, I feel like my kids eat 4 dozen. I feel like I go through so many cookies a week. I'm gonna need a lot of that. So I am gonna math how many bags of sugar am I gonna buy? I'm gonna price out, right? So I might also do some price comparisons for like Aldi versus something like normally I buy everything at Aldi, but for something like this where I know I'm going to need it in bulk, is it cheaper to buy it at Sam's or Costco? Now I don't have a membership, but I have friends who do, so whatever. So I need to spend some time going through and doing some price comparisons and then go buy my non-perishables in bulk. Okay. Then my next actual step is to create my um cooking day plan, which is like decide what days I'm going to be cooking and when I'm going to get started. And then the next part of it is bulk making the cookies. So once I have my list, my next part of this is like bulk make freeze. And then I might be like chocolate chip or I make like peanut butter balls. I make M&M cookies. I make crinkle. Oh my God, these are so good. They're like chocolate crinkle cookies. Um, oh, I make these ones with sprinkle. I don't know. I need my cookbook. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head. But I probably make like 6 or 7 varieties of cookies that I make for trays. It's really fun. And me and my daughter have done it together. Like the year before we made like one. This year I'm sorry, I'm tangenting. I might try to make some new desserts this year. Like I mentioned yesterday, I saw these cool ones on like my Facebook feed and I was like, oh, I want to try those. And then I'm thinking of trying to make a pie. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so then I have to make all these. All right. So this is like the start of my menu, but I have to add it. All right. So now I'm gonna make my broken down plan. Okay, so I have 9 weeks. Um, all right. And what I like to do is I could say week 1, week 2, week 3, week, whatever, but I like to do it like this, like October week 1, because then I can kind of look like I don't have to reference the calendar, or I could say like week of like I like to have a date on there. Do you know what I'm saying? Instead of week 1, week 2, because then I'm like, oh, now I kind of know like where I'm going with it. So then we're gonna do this week 10, 20. All right. And selfishly, I'm making my plan. So thanks for hanging. Oh, you know what else I want to do? I just like check for any cooking supplies. Like I wanted to get like I need some new pans. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to like look for some stuff, so I might want to like run to the thrift store, see what I can find. Okay. All right, so now I've got these kind of set up for myself. I also, this is just something I like to do if you use the outline feature. I like to also make these like subheadings so then I can just easily click to each one as I start adding things in. It's just a thing I enjoy doing. All right. Um, but this is so big and I hate it, so I like to often like shrink. So, okay, so we'll make that smaller. All right, so now I'm like, all right, I have these 9 weeks. When do I want to start? Like, when do I want to start cooking? I probably want to start cooking before Thanksgiving, which is this week. So if I want to start cooking this week, I'm sorry, if I want to start cooking the week before Thanksgiving, then I need to have stuff done here, the bulk of it. So then I kind of do a little division. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 tasks I want to get done. Beautiful. So I'm going to do one task a week. Now you see how this, and I'm going to show this tomorrow. This is like a lot of tomorrow's lesson, but you see how now it's a little bit easier. I can leisurely enjoy making my cookie plan. Okay. So the first week in October, I'm just going to make my cookie menu. I'm not thinking about much, right? Um, I want to check for my supplies first because I think that'll be fun. Then I want to make a shopping list of what I need. And then I'll do my price comparisons. All right, now I'm gonna take this one, buy my non-perishables, and then I need to like buy perishables, obviously. Forgot to add that on. So then I need to go buy my non-perishables this day, and I will probably buy all my perishables the week that I'm baking. And then this is going to be baking week, prep week for me. Okay. Now, I might not make them all, but I might. I found last year freezing the dough was just really easy. It made it so easy that when I had to make stuff, I was just pulling it out. Now, again, I have to assess the room in my freezer, which I didn't write down as a task. So let's see. Um, assess freezer space. Like I have to make a realistic plan, which I'll do this week. The week before, I'm gonna do it. So I'm adding a second task in here. All right, and then I'm gonna prep this day. Now, this is one of my tasks, to create my cooking day plan. So what this might look like might be make a little table, Monday through Saturday. Okay, so then I might be like, all right, we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I might go through my cookies and be like, all right, let's just copy these down here so I don't have to scroll anymore. All right, and then instead of saying now, here's what I want to say to you. I tried like making like 5 different types of cookies on one day, and it was too many. Um, it probably would be easy to make a one thing of cookies a day because I'm gonna make like multiple dozen of them and freeze them or freeze the log. Do you know what I mean? Like if I make a sugar cookie, or whatever, I'll freeze like the M&M cookies, I'll make them and then I'll roll them into logs. Uh, and like slice them, I don't know. And then I'll freeze them, whatever. I'm gonna freeze them in an easy way. The point is, you're gonna have to feel out for yourself what your life looks like, what your schedule looks like, and what you prefer. Sometimes it is a bit easier to go through and say, all right, I'm going to make only chocolate chip cookies on Monday. Or maybe it'll say, all right, I'm gonna make M&M and chocolate chip cookies because I already have all my stuff out. It just depends on you and how you want to do it. But for me, like, okay, I can make one, like it won't take me as long to make that many cookies, and then I can wash, clean up, and do another tomorrow. So again, personal preference. So maybe I'm like, all right, Monday we have Girl Scouts, I don't want to cook. Tuesday, I'm gonna make chocolate chip. And then Wednesday, I'm gonna make the M&M. And then Thursday, I'll make the crinkle, et cetera, right? I'll make sugar cookies Friday, and then I've got buffer on the weekend. So that might be that. And then the week of Thanksgiving, I might, like prep stuff that needs to be made that week, right? Like other things, like prep the things that I can't make in advance. Then what I would do is I would make a schedule for like the weeks leading into the other holidays if I need to replenish it. Like maybe I make like 4 dozen chocolate chip cookies and I stick them in the freezer and then I freeze them like 1 dozen. I like to like flash freeze. So sometimes I'll do the logs but what I do now for my kids is I will like roll them into balls and flash freeze them, and then I'll just put them in the freezer. So I pull 1 dozen. I have them separated into dozens, so I just pull a dozen out at a time, and then I make them, and then that's their food for like a couple of days until they eat them all. Grubby little children. So maybe you're like, all right, I made 4. I have an inventory list. I'm running low. I need to replenish. So that was a lot, but that is my recommendation on what I would do for that. I freeze the dough. Yeah, I freeze the dough and it works really good. If anyone has any other suggestions, this is only my second time doing it, so feel free. I'm not really a this is not my forte, right? So like I'm learning as I go, but I freeze the dough. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yep. And when I do the cookies for my kids for the week, I roll them into balls first, just because then I don't have to cut them and separate them because I know I'm going to make a dozen at a time. But if I'm freezing for like, I'm not going to need this for 3 weeks, I'll freeze the log and then I'll just slice it. And then maybe they're more square than I would like, but I don't care. Okay. So that was that one, and I will put that list, which I'm glad I made, in your portal. All right, we're running out of time. I got 2 more questions, or one more question? One more question for today. Good question zone. Hopefully this again helps seeing it all. All right. All right, the family is having a lot of meltdowns over the past couple months, and the holiday spirit is low. I feel that. Any suggestions for getting in the mood when everyone just wants to do their own thing and they don't want to do it? Trying to get ahead of the holiday drama. Yes. Okay. So I shared this today on the live that like my kids were like not feeling like game night. They didn't want to do all those things, and I kind of just let it be. I think one of the hardest things for me is like I work really hard to like plan fun things and then they don't enjoy it and then I'm mad. I'm like really butthurt about it. I'm like, I don't know why you don't enjoy this fun thing I'm trying to do for you. Like be grateful. So hear ya. I hear you. Like it just feels so frustrating. But the reminder I've been giving myself lately, especially as my daughter is a little tweeny bop, is, you know, that one is just struggling to learn how to handle all of her big feelings. And it is challenging for her. And I do think my kids are appreciative, but often I think maybe that they're just like tired. They're like, we're doing maybe too many things. So, a couple things I would do to get ahead of this is it was on my list today, and you saw I had it delegated out. I would make a vision. This is what we're doing of what I want the holiday to be. And then I would sit with my people and be like, hey, the holidays are coming. I figured, like, well, why don't we talk about what we would want to do as a family and get their opinions? And I know it's like so silly, but like, and this is what's really hard. I love the light show. If my kids are like, that's corny, I don't want to do that, I would be heartbroken. But like, then I would just go take myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can go to the light show by myself. I can go with my husband. I would be sad, and it is sad when and I mentioned yesterday it's my daughter's first year knowing things. So I do feel like this is going to be a little bit different. But like, you be a curmudgeon. I don't want to be one. Like, I don't want to be a curmudgeon. So, A, ask them. Like, sit with them and say like, what are the non-negotiables? What are the things that you really want to do? Are there some things that aren't on our list? Like, I don't like ice skating, but if my kid was like, I want to go ice skating, I could bend a little bit to do something like that for them. The other thing that I find helps is like getting in the spirit, that holiday Spotify playlist. Like, let me, as soon as I hear Mariah Carey come on, I'm like, and we're here. Let's do it, right? I love, like, let me put on Elf. When, the holiday, I don't have like real TV anymore, but what is it? Freeform? Is that the one that does like the 31 days of the Halloween movies? Like, let's go put on some Halloween Town. Like, let me get in the mood. So I think one of the things that helps is getting myself in the mood by doing things that are like nostalgic. So I'll maybe while you're doing your holiday planning, put on the music, watch the movie, like, like get in the zone for yourself. And in try to enjoy it. I think the other thing that happens though that makes us cranky during the holidays is we overplan ourselves and then we overplan our kids. And then we're just like, I don't even want to do this right now. Like, I don't even want to do this at all because I'm too tired because I put too much on my plate. So I think going ahead and making kind of that plan of what are the things that we want to do as a family, and then even saying if no, say like the lights, or like there's like a my town does like a Halloween light thing too where they give you like people's addresses and you can drive and like see. scary blow ups or whatever. You know what I'm talking I don't really like, oh, say I liked that. I don't, but say I did. And my kids were like, I don't feel like sitting in the car and doing that, right? Saying, mommy really wants to do this thing. I'm going to take myself to go do it. So if anybody wants to come do it with me, or find somebody who does, like, ask a friend. Like, I feel like we think we have to have all our holiday traditions be with our kids, but like, if our kids don't want to do it and we have the time to go do it on our own, like, that's also really cool, right? That's also a good possibility. So I think getting yourself in the mood, setting your vision, enrolling them in the vision, and then giving yourself some joy touch points. That's why part of our stress less holiday planning is the joy. It's finding time for things that we want to do. It does help. But yeah, get the movies on, get them. And like, I try so hard to get my kids into the movies. Ari's favorite phrase is it's old timey. So she's like, that's an old timey movie. I don't want to watch that old timey thing. And it's just like Newsies. I've been trying to get her into Newsies forever. And she's like, that's too old timey for me. I'm like, it is literally the best. I do not understand. Couldn't even get her to watch High School Musical. Old timey. Like, what are we doing? Anyway, you like your old-timey things, you enjoy your old-timey things. Don't let them you know, get a bee in your bonnet over the fact that like they don't enjoy the same things. Because can I tell you something? I don't enjoy the same things my kid likes. If I have to watch Crafty make another Minecraft whatever he does on his Roku, I'm gonna cry. I'm tired. I don't like it. It's silly, but my kid loves it, right? It's so enjoyable for my kid to watch this person play Minecraft. So I'm gonna let it happen. And I think sometimes we have to just like release the expectation that everyone's going to enjoy things at the same level that we're going to enjoy them. Um, all right, friends, let's do a prize. I'm going to give away another coaching call where you can bring your question and I will make it for you. If you have questions for tomorrow, make sure you get them up. These were great ones. I'll put all these docs in your portal. Now today's theme was all around dropping or delegating. We also talked about doing some breakdowns. So why don't you share? You know what? Share in the chat what's something you really like to do that maybe the rest of the family doesn't like to do, but you're going to commit to doing just for yourself or by yourself anyway this year, right? What is it? I know, Shannon, I know. I want to, it's on the list. You know how many things I have on my list of things I want to put together? All right, share me the thing you want to do. What is it? I want to go, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I'm trying to think. There's some Christmas movies, old-timey, if you will, that I would like to watch. Like my kids do not find A Christmas Story entertaining, and I don't understand what's wrong with them, but I'm gonna watch it anyway. Perhaps 24 hours on Christmas Eve, like I can, right? Like all those things that I want to do, I'm gonna do. And I can't fit them all in, so maybe pick one. So give me one and we'll give away a nice little coaching call. I want you to pick something for you. And then tomorrow, we have a fun plan. Tomorrow, what we're gonna do is break down our goals, put them where they gotta go. You know what I want to do for me? They always have downtown in I live in in Philadelphia. They always have like the orchestra does like Christmas music and like I don't think my kids would appreciate it. And then here's what maybe they would. I don't think my kids would appreciate it. And then I would get annoyed that I spent money on a ticket for them. So I think I'm just going to take myself on a date and just go by myself and go like enjoy the little Trans-Siberian Orchestra, whatever it's doing. All right, put it in. Let's give away a prize. Yeah, I just want to sit and read my books and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. All right, I'm gonna give away a quick little prize here. I'm not looking. Last call if you want to get your stuff in. And Amanda McCauley. Amanda's gonna do holiday cozy mysteries. Oh yeah, books are also my love language. Yes. Holiday cozy mysteries sound great. And Amanda, just email me help@caraharvey.com and just say you won the prize and we'll get you my scheduler so we can set up a time to chat longer. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Get your tasks done, and I'll see you tomorrow.